Two and one. We are live. Smash Mouth Sports. I am your host, as always, Preston Bailey. Thank you for turning in once again, wherever you are, whether you're watching it live, watch it on Twitter, watch it on YouTube, or wherever the hell you're watching it from, or you're in the dungeon, or you're in the basement, or you're in Taunton of all places, which would be crazy. Absolutely with it. So, Cam, you're busting at the seams here. You want to jump in here. You can't sit still. What's going on there, Cam? What are your thoughts?
Nothing. I mean, we're talking. Let's get into the Paul brothers. Let's do it. Yeah, these YouTube sensation boxers. Let's do it.
Is that your guys there? Is that how you? I hope you don't box like that. You get punched in the face. Yeah, I hope you don't fight them. So here we go. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, all the Paul brothers. Here's what's interesting about these young guys. Okay, they're interesting guys, clean cut, young, healthy guys. 21, 22-year-old guys. I'm happy for them. So Jake Paul, he's roughly about 6'1", about 192, 193 pounds, decent size. His brother, about 6'2" and a half, about 205, 210 pounds. They're both. You okay there, Giggles? You gonna let me You gonna let me talk about their height and weight before you get? Keep your thoughts. Hey, let's rein it in. Okay. I'm not even gonna say. I got a feeling you want to get in the boxing ring for this, guys, for all the wrong reasons. So let's rein this. Let's rein this in. Let's rein this in right now.
Gosh.
Okay. So for those keeping track at home, Jake Paul, the younger brother, both of these guys, by the way, have got over 20 million I can't even say it. 20 million YouTube subscribers. And that's no joke. That's not an exaggeration. They legitimately have 20 million subscribers. It's unbelievable. I believe one of them was a Disney actor, and they might have both been Disney actors. They've done like some B-liner movies. They do a lot of stunts and motorcycle, just a lot of crazy things on YouTube, going into malls and stuff like that. I believe Jake Paul got arrested during this COVID breakdown and so forth. But Jake Paul knocked out former basketball six-man of the year dunk contest, Nate Robinson, 5'8", about 185 pounds. He's a little guy. So for Jake Paul to pump himself up like he's going to fight Conor McGregor is ridiculous. He's not going to fight Conor McGregor no matter how much he wants. And let me just say this before we get too deep. They can box whoever they want to box. Boxing is one thing, okay? Boxing is one thing. UFC is another thing, okay? Because as we all know, Floyd Mayweather – Cam, you're bursting at the – just go ahead and say what you got to say because you can't sit still. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
Your volatility, like you're so fired up, like UFC is better. It's just that's all.
Well, UFC is better. We got into it today. I was talking to some guys at work today, and we got into it. One guy was like, "Oh, boxing is so much bigger than UFC." I was like, "Dude, are you drunk? UFC is so much bigger than boxing. It's not even close." The only thing that's relevant now with boxing is UFC fighters like Conor going into boxing. YouTube guys that have 20 million subscribers going into boxing. Nobody cares about Alvarez. Nobody cares about this guy and that guy. I mean,
Deontay Wilder, right?
Deontay Wilder, all these guys. Nobody cares about the fat champion. Don't even know his name anymore. What's his name? Anthony Perez, the former fat champion. They got knocked out.
Nobody. Anthony Joshua, yeah.
Nobody cares about him. So here we go. Okay, so Jake Paul, I want to call him Jake Ryan. Jake Paul beat Nate Robinson, which, of course, a lot of guys now are standing up to fight Jake Paul. Okay, look, Jake Paul's fine. He's a good athlete, but, this guy's got $10, 21 years old. I just don't see him fighting legitimate top-tier middleweight and light heavyweight boxing champions. I don't see that happening. So on to Logan Paul. Logan Paul's got 22 million subscribers. He's another big YouTube sensation, 22 million subscribers. He's going to fight Floyd Mayweather. Look, Floyd Mayweather is 5'8", 150 pounds. Logan is 6'2", about 210, 212. He's a much bigger guy. So, Cam, you're a boxing guy. I have dragged you into UFC, kicking and screaming, because you're like, the sweet science of boxing. So give me the sweet science. Yes, the sweet science of two guys getting brain damage simultaneous. So tell me the sweet science of Logan Paul against Floyd Mayweather. Tell me how you see that fight going.
Logan Paul's not going to land more than 2 punches.
Really?
It's Floyd Mayweather. Professional boxers can't hit him. You think a YouTube star is going to be able to hit him? No, I know he's older and he's fought once in the last 5 years against a UFC fighter. But I'm just going off of what we know Floyd Mayweather has. You can't touch him.
Okay, let me tell you right now. First of all, I do expect Logan Paul to get dinged up. However, Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time for a 150-pounder. I want to see it. Logan Paul is 6'2", 210 pounds. He is going to have a 5+ inch. Let's see, how many inches is that? He's going to have a 6 or 7 inch reach advantage, okay, height advantage, as well as a 60-pound muscle advantage. And this guy did box before. He boxed against another boxer, 190 pounds. He did lose. Again, that guy was 190, 195 pounds. I don't think you're. I think you're underestimating how big a 60-pound weight advantage of pure muscle. It's not like 60 pounds of fat. Logan Paul is pure muscle. I give Logan Paul. I'll tell you this bet. I bet you he lands more than 2 punches. I'll take that. You want to take that bet?
Sure.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. How much money do you want to lose? How much money? How much you want to lose?
$20.
Okay. I thought you were going to go 2,000. I was ready to take that. But yeah, listen, what we've seen with Conor McGregor and Floyd, Conor was a little bit bigger, but they were basically the same size. Okay. Logan Paul is a big dude. Logan Paul is a big guy for Conor. Logan Paul's a big, so you put no stock into 6'2", 210 pounds against a 150-pounder. You just think because Floyd is a great boxer, he's just going to outpoint Logan Paul.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Stunning. So you see no advantage. So let me ask you this: what would Anthony Joshua do to Floyd Mayweather?
He'd probably destroy him.
Kill him. He'd murder him in the ring. Any any boxer 185 pounds or bigger would steamroll Floyd. Steamroll him. I don't care about points. Don't tell me Floyd's the greatest boxer of all time. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest points fighter. Not the greatest boxer.
He's the
greatest points fighter. Jab, jab, your little jab, 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 jab. Okay? Little rock'em sock'em robot. I want to see Floyd Mayweather. I don't want to just see him against Logan Paul. I want to see Floyd Mayweather go in the UFC. That's what I want to see.
How would he fare against Conor in the octagon?
Oh, he would be killed. He would be destroyed in 2 minutes or less. He would be destroyed. Floyd Mayweather would be destroyed. Conor McGregor, by the way, anyone that paid attention to that fight, everyone's like, oh, Floyd killed Conor. No, he most certainly did not.
No, he didn't.
Anybody, yes, he won the fight. I'm not taking anything away from there. But here's what people are missing. How many times in that fight, there was about 4 or 5 times in that fight, where Conor McGregor had him on the ropes. Floyd turned his back to you never turn your back in a real fight, in a UFC MMA fight. You never turn your back to your opponent. Your opponent can get you around the way, get you around the neck, get you in a rear naked choke, and choke your ass out and make you throw up and swallow your tongue. You never turn your back to a real fighter. Never. So I want to see it. The Jake Paul's smart because he's 200 pounds, 195 pounds. He's fighting guys that are clearly 20, 25 pounds smaller than he is, that are 4 or 5 inches short. He's smart. So he's just getting millions of dollars each fight, fighting guys with big names or marginal names that are small. Little rappers, little basketball players, little fighters, and crushing them. Logan Paul is actually fighting a guy that's one of the greatest boxers, but also small. What are your thoughts on that before we wrap this up?
Sure. No, I want to see Floyd go in the UFC as well. I want to see him fight Conor McGregor. I want to see him fight Covington, Cerrone. Absolutely.
Cerrone, Covington. Oh, any average UFC fighter. We don't need to fight Conor or Khabib. Floyd, if he went in the UFC against an average UFC fighter, what I mean, I'm talking about top 10, top 14, would get destroyed in under 5 minutes. Would get destroyed. Why? You're like, oh, he's not going to have gloves on. He's going to have little tiny gloves. Yeah, he's not going to connect. The wrestler, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, is going to take him down to the ground, get him in a chokehold, choke him out, or break his leg. That's what's going to happen. This is what the sweet science. Okay, the sweet science is overrated. Boxing is you stand there, rock'em sock'em robot for 12 rounds. In a real fight, it doesn't work that way. UFC is as close to a real fight as you're going to find, minus the beer bottles and bar stools. That's as close as you're going to find to a real fight. What are your thoughts?
I mean, excluding Conor and Floyd, what was the last great boxing match you've seen?
I don't. There isn't any.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, I have to go back to Mike Tyson no, not Mike Tyson a few weeks ago. Mike Tyson 20-some years ago when he fought Lennox Lewis, when he fought Evander Holyfield. Those are the fights as a kid that I got excited for. Many people got excited for. Even Anthony Joshua is supposed to be great. Is he the undisputed champion?
He is.
He's boring as hell. He boring as hell. No personality. I would rather watch paint dry twice with sandpaper getting punched in the face than to watch him fight. Anthony Joshua could not be any more boring if he was doing his taxes.
I've seen 2 of his fights, and they were both boring as hell.
Yeah, he's terrible. Anyways, like and subscribe to the channel. The Paul brothers, the Ryan brothers, all of the brothers, the McGregor brothers, like and subscribe to the channel. Smash TV Radio.